Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's Chuck here. I'm just gonna do a little recap real quick. I'm gonna try to do these more on what's happening. This morning we talked about actually trying to make sure that we were taking advantage of the volatility. I walked you guys through a UK 100 trade I was looking at last night, a little that I was able to take and one that I wasn't able to take as the market made its move after I was done trading. We looked at NAS, and one of the things we noticed here was at an area of supply right here. Boom. We saw this area right here, so we were a little concerned as the market opened up what to do, but we did end up breaking structure right in here. So if you guys remember, I took a first position right in here and kind of just caught that up move, right? Can't remember right now how many pips I got, somewhere between 100 or 200. And then I just got on out, right? I got on out and we had this deep retracement. Now, what's cool about this retracement is if I take you guys back over here, we can really see based on our time frames that was our impetus level sitting right in here. Right in here, right? Our impetus level. And so you typically don't want to buy high. That was my concern, right? We were sitting at a level. You don't really want to buy high. You want to let the market pull back. And at the time, I didn't know if we were just going to keep on going. But you could see as the market came down, it ended up respecting that area of demand. Now, if you don't break an impetus level, right? If you don't break an impetus level when you go down that quick, typically I've been teaching guys that you can just trade back in the direction, back up to the highs, right? It's either going to make a deep retracement or a continuation up. And that's what it did. It definitely pushed up on us. Now, I didn't take a trade here. If you guys remember, I didn't. I wish I did, right? But I didn't. It didn't give me what I needed, right? Unfortunately, it did not. So I had to be more patient. Market then ended up moving forward like this. And we trapped this correction right here. Right there was our break. That was our break. This was the shift right here, right? That was our shift. Then market pushed up above the supply. And you can see right here, you can see right in here, we have the push up. Now, this right here, if you guys remember, we had originally we had got out and I was concerned about this level. We broke above here, but then we made this deep pullback. And actually, my first position got stopped out, right? Because what happened was as this thing progressed and made this higher high, right? I actually got out right here. I did lose some money on this, right in here. Especially because those candles came down really fast and there's something called slippage. My broker wasn't able to get me out fast enough. So I remember that one hurt. It didn't hurt from the standpoint of my account. It just hurt my feelings. Right. So here we go. I had to be patient and we ended up holding. I want you guys to remember, when the market is bullish, demands will hold, supplies will break. And so right here, what happened? We held the demand. Look at the supply candle. Engulfing, we broke up. That was all we needed, right? That was all we needed. And so then after that, I got in actually somewhere in here, okay? But the true target of the impetus level would have been right up in here, okay? And then after that, we pushed up and then we were just monitoring, right? Market should be, when it makes those pullbacks, it should be still respecting these demand levels. Okay, what's the idea? Well, this is where institutional money buys. When you see those engulfing candles, you can see that they buy. Now, they're not always buying on the 15-second, right? That's not necessarily it, but it's the mindset. This is where the money comes in. So money is always going to protect their money. And that's why you want to partner with them. You want to look. If they're respecting those levels, that means their money's sitting there, okay? And you can come in and right here we pulled back. I wanted to take a new position here, But because I took a loss over here, I actually was like, you know what, let's just get your money back. I knew I was in my feelings a bit, so I just wanted to let that be. I didn't want to take an additional risk here. And then after that, we pushed on up. You guys know my target was here. This was my target. I was trying to get up here, all the way up into here, right? How did I figure that out? Well, if you look here, as Ferran's been teaching, this was the basing area. This is also the point of control, right? Point of control being the greatest amount of volume is sitting in that price level right there. So that was our target, right? Keeping it simple. And you can see here what we have right over here. You can see we ended up pushing on up. Now, if you guys remember, it was right around here that I actually started to show you guys how I trail my stop loss, right? I told you guys I was only interested in this impulse. Whatever was gonna come next, the deep correction, it wasn't for me. That's somebody else's money. I was too far in profit to be giving things back, right? And so what I ended up doing was I ended up pushing on up. Now, market pushed up, and what I showed you guys on this is how to trail your stop loss, how to lock in that, not emotionally but structurally. And so if you guys remember, if we take it over here, we're really monitoring this. I was trailing my stop as we went up. So originally, as we pushed on up, I put my risk here, right? Locking in the profits in here, okay? I don't know my exact entry point on this chart. I'd have to go look at my MetaTrader 4 exactly to find it. I could do that. But the point is, whether it was here, down here, right, or up here, I was locking in my profits based on structure, okay? What do I mean here? Look, boom, right? Then we had all this fractal structure. So I knew this was a fractal level right there where those lows were. Right, this came down, consolidated. When it did that, that's when I shifted my risk up even more, my stop loss. Okay, then we pushed up, right? Started to get into those 400s, right? So I probably, yeah, definitely entered. I'll find the entry exact point, but this is close enough. Right here. This right here, engulfing candle, right here is where I took my profit. Okay, my profit. So it must have been, yeah, because I was only at 400 on those wicks. So I must have entered a little higher. Yeah, something like that. Those wicks got me into those 400s. I remember because I wanted to get back to that. So somewhere around there. Yep, that's about right. Yep, and that makes sense because I entered inside of the structure. I remember based off of that engulfing candle. All right, let's wrap this up though. Let me show you. So again, I got in right here. Right there. That makes sense. That's it right there. Yep. That engulfing candle is my entry. Okay. Once we came down here, respected that level, and we went on up, that's where I got in. So I wanted to protect my profits. So what I did is, as the market started to create fractal structure, again, what's my premise? I'm only interested in this impulse. I don't care about everything else. Right? I just want whatever this impulse is going to give me. Okay. So the market came here, pushed up right under here. When we closed, I closed 50% on my trade. And then as this pulled back, came up, I ended up trailing my stop loss because what it created here, demand levels, right? we're hoping that they hold demand. And then it pushed up, got back in those 400s. And then this was the last push. Now, as this made its way up, I just kept trailing pretty aggressively. And that last level that I had my stop was right in here. So this took me out, and then the market made a higher high. Okay, that was my story, right? That was the trade. And so I really wanted to share with you guys this. I'm glad I took some time to actually trade this. Now, where were we trying to go? We were trying to go here. But what was a brother not about to do? I'm not about to give all this back. That's 400 plus pips just to try to get to a destination. Hey, almost there works for me, all right? Almost there works for me. So with that being said, you can see where the market is now. All right, we finally made it to that destination. Could I have got there, right, by holding it? Sure. But I was watching it. And if I'm watching it, I'm managing it. Not emotionally, but structurally. Just made business sense to do that. We were almost at my destination. Structure broke down fractionally. Ain't hanging around for that, okay? But touchdown. Made it right to our level, all right? So if you guys got something from this, just wanted to give you a recap and run down on what happened in class today. All right, you guys enjoy your weekend. I'll talk to you next time. Peace, family.